Senator Lee.
Thank you very much. Director McConkey, I'd like to start with you. Thanks again for the vital work you do in managing CITLA. CITLA, of course, is something that provides a vital lifeline for a number of critical services in the state of Utah, including and especially public education. Optimal land management allows us to not only be good stewards of the land, but also simultaneously promote and create sustainable economic growth opportunities, which of course benefits the public interest. A land exchange of this magnitude, of the sort that we're talking about in Utah, is certainly a delicate process that involves listening to all the relevant stakeholders and implementing their recommendations while trying to strike balance and compromise in a way, along the way in a way that doesn't derail the deal. Can you just explain briefly to the committee the stakeholder-driven process that went into creating this consensus legislation and how it would benefit Utah?
Thank you. Yes, we've gone through a long process of outreach. We've spent quite a bit of time, especially in San Juan County, which is the county that, of course, the majority of this land is coming out of. We've actually kept about a third of the land that would be traded into within the boundary of San Juan County, and that's the heaviest we've ever gone into one single county, and this would be the 6th major land exchange Utah has done, and that's the heaviest we've ever stayed in a county. We've done public open houses where we had people of all backgrounds, residents, members sort of on both sides of the political aisle who attended, and we were able to have some really great listening sessions. We worked with local county commissioners, and they actually were very instrumental in helping us to understand the needs of their communities and what they really wanted to see and what economic development could come out of this exchange. And we listened very closely to that. Also listened to industry, and we have a lot of internal experts within our agency, all of whom added to help us figure out what targets would best serve our beneficiaries and also help with local economic development.
Thank you. Now, as you know, San Juan County, which is Utah's poorest county, was hit particularly hard by the designation of the Bears Ears National Monument. And the vast majority of the parcels that CITLA is trading out of come from San Juan County. This process has caused some frustration, and understandably so, but it's clear that CITLA has gone way above and beyond the call of duty to identify and trade into new parcels in San Juan County, parcels that have maximal economic development potential. Can you speak to this process a little bit and that feature in particular, how the exchange lands were selected and how the proposed exchange is likely to affect the local economy in San Juan County?
Yes, well, these lands that we currently have in San Juan County within the boundaries of Bears Ears they're scattered parcels that have had limited historical revenue to the trust. About $80,000 a year is what we make out of about 136,000 acres of land. And really none of that money goes directly to local communities. That's going directly to the trust. This is an opportunity to take those scattered lands, block them up, move them into other parts of the county where we've done some Utah geological survey work, and these are areas with higher mineral potential and mineral development potential. So, as you said, San Juan County has struggled economically, and without this exchange, we don't see anything changing. The lands would stay where they are. This gives an opportunity for these lands to be blocked up, for there to be mineral development and real estate development, and we've worked very closely with the county commission and with others in the area to try to identify lands that can really help them with that.
Now, if CITLA pulls out of the boundaries of the monument, some worry that access to the land within the monument could somehow be threatened. Ranchers have relied on the checkerboard patch quilt nature of the CITLA parcels over the years in order to place grazing assets and water features. How will valid permits and reliance interests like these be affected by this land exchange?
We've worked very closely with ranchers and livestock producers in the area. We know that this is a difficulty for them. We've also worked very hard with BLM, and they've been great partners in this. We've actually come to agreements that there will be preference rights that BLM, that's in the MOU for permittees that are currently on lands and that would become state lands, and that, I'm sorry, state lands would become federal lands, and we've also agreed to have 2 terms of no competition for the vice versa. We have worked very hard to get improvements in place, water improvements in place for these livestock producers, and feel that we've tried to listen as much as we can. We understand this is difficult for them, but feel like we have really put some protections in place, and we each have agreed to assume the obligations of the other as we are taking any of these valid existing rights.
How about water rights? Same thing?
Water rights, they would pass to the other party, but yes, that's something we've been looking at very closely. And there are we had a bunch of wells that we already had applications when we started the negotiation process, and many of those have been drilled. We worked with BLM to identify the correct places for them. It helps disperse cattle, and they're actually a very small footprint, but we work closely with the producers and with BLM on those issues.
Thank you very much. My time's expired. Thank you.